Hey everyone, so I have a pretty epic story that I would like to share with you. As one of my big dreams in life is to inspire people to take that big scary leap of faith and actually find the courage to firstly become self-aware that they need help and then make the even bigger choice to action actually getting the help that they need. There are so many things nowadays that we are told will help our mental health, like breathing, taking walks out in nature, crystals, yoga, meditation. I could go on. However, as much as they are great for maintenance of keeping our physical body healthy to some extent, they will never heal our internal traumas if you have them and prove as just a temporary fix or a distraction from actually getting on with doing the proper work on ourselves. I can speak from experience, as I was one of those people, sadly lost in what is labelled as the spiritual world. You name it, I have tried it, been there, got the t-shirt. At the time, I was recovering from a really serious brain tumour that I had recently cured myself of, but I was still stuck in a relentless loop of negative, toxic events happening over and over and over again, just repeating themselves until I learnt the hard way. I hit rock bottom, like serious rock bottom, in one of the biggest mental breakdowns I have ever had. This is when I reached out to my close friend in really total desperation, as I knew I needed some serious help. I needed something completely new, and that's when she recommended me to Stephen. I see Stephen a few times at wellness events before I started to work with him as my therapist. And at first, I was really sceptical on how repeating three simple words over and over again was ever going to heal any of my problems. So I'll be honest, I was shocked at first. But she told me to trust her and that she'd seen him work at events a few times, and she just knew that he was the person for me for all sorts of reasons. One of the main reasons being that he could generally understand me like no other had been, because of what he had gone through in life too. Plus, she thought that we would just simply get on really well. So I trusted her judgment and was straight on the phone to book my first session. Instantly, Stephen calmed me down, advised me how to prepare myself, and gave me a brief explanation on how my session would go. I was actually really excited in the end and couldn't wait to get stuck in. So, the main reason of this video is to share my story of how my life totally got flipped upside down the day I met and started working with Stephen, and how my experience of it from the start to today has been one of the most life-changing things I've ever done. So, I suppose I better introduce myself. My name is Bobbie. I'm a little super sociable, fun-loving artist with a wide variety of skill sets. My main ones are being a photographer, photo editor and graphic designer, which I now actually do all of Stephen's photos. Ta-da! And all of his graphic design work for him, which is actually so much fun because I'm totally into and passionate about what he does too. And an added bonus, turns out we work really well together and we actually make a good team and we always have a good giggle. I'm also an orgonite specialist, focusing on the pyramids. See that? And I have a very close connection and work with the communication, rehabilitation and the education of animals, reptiles and exotics being my speciality. Quite an eclectic mix, and that's just to name a few. So, I'll take you back to the beginning of my roller coaster ride when I had my very first session with Stephen. I will never forget it, and I don't think there will ever be any words to give it enough justice. I absolutely had my mind blown. I'd tried a lot of things for many years, as I mentioned earlier, but this DTO was something else. Also, by just being in the room with him, he had this amazing ability to hold space for me so well and make me feel totally safe. This is something that I'd never experienced before. We ended up working together on several deep, massive things, and no word of a lie, the feelings and triggers just instantly went away. Like being a total overanalyzer before, I just really couldn't get my head around it at first. It left me pretty speechless. Like, how could I be absolutely bawling my eyes out one minute, then uncontrollably laughing the next? Also, no matter how hard I tried to purposely find the negative attachments, I just couldn't. They had literally just disappeared. So I went home absolutely buzzing. It felt amazing, like I was walking on clouds. It didn't take long to see instant shifts in my environment and friendships, as things seemed so much easier, and I was able to start attracting a happier, healthier, positive life. I continued to see Stephen over the next couple of years, going straight to him when something come up. I've gone from feeling totally broken, having my heart shattered into pieces over and over again, to really thriving now. I had started to feel really defeated, but now I see that super bright light at the end of the tunnel, and also know that anything can be held with this fast, effective modality. I thought I knew a lot about how the body worked in regards to trauma, where illness and disease and injuries manifest in the body, to make us aware that we need things to heal. And it also works the same with life experiences and people that we attract in our lives. But I learnt pretty fast that actually I knew very little. And this was just the start of a Pandora's box of knowledge I was just about to discover. I love the fact that there will be times where all I know is something that isn't right, and Stephen is just able to ninja in there and find exactly what my issue is without me even needing to know. And many times I've thought I knew the problem, and it was actually something totally different. It's really liberating to know no matter how life goes or what happens, I know I will be okay, because anything and everything, in fact, can be healed. Our mind is such a powerful thing, and the magic of healing we can create is really incredible. Because of all the work we have done together, recovery from my tumour is going absolutely strength to strength. I now have the closest special group of genuine friends. I've managed to manifest a dream home. My work is really starting to take off, and I feel so much more confident and aligned with me and who I truly am. So working with Stephen, as I say again, has been one of the most life-changing, magical things I've ever experienced. Fast forward a few years, having been several different versions of me since the beginning, all of which he has supported me through and seen me grow and blossom into the woman I am today. I actually am so grateful and blessed for him to also now be a very close friend of mine too. Sometimes I think I seriously don't know what I'd do without him if I didn't have him in my life. Stephen is such a light in my life and has always been, and still is today, one of my biggest inspirations to always want to work on myself continually to become the best version of myself I can be. When my friends or other people I meet come to me for help and advice, one of my favourite responses is now, "Oh, and how is that working for you?" You might want to go and get that switched off. One day, we'll be at events, maybe on big stages, and even all over the internet, sharing my story, planting seeds with the world to hopefully motivate and inspire people like you to get the help you need to work on healing all of your traumas, to become the best version of yourself, and to live a happy, healthy life full of abundance and love. I am living proof that miracles are actually a thing, and they do actually happen if you just have the patience, trust, and belief in yourself. Please don't hesitate to reach out to Stephen in Healing the Mind and experience it from yourself. Because as the saying goes, change or nothing will change, right?